Today to finish off a 3-game sweep and improve to 10-2 over the last 2 weeks. Tonight they're in the desert to begin a 7-game road trip. Max Scherzer moves up a day to make the start against the team that drafted him 9 years ago. What a homestand it was for the Nats. Now they take the show on the road. We're in the world's biggest plane hangar in downtown Phoenix. We got some curly W's and a lot of Bryce Harper jerseys following the Nats here in Phoenix and eventually on to San Diego. Bob and FP, welcome to Nationals Baseball. We have the National League Player of the Week, batting cleanup. And FP, on top of all the home runs and all the other stuff that Bryce is doing right now, he starts this series and this road trip as a 300 hitter.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking his base hits to left, which is something we haven't seen him do, and I think he's going to hit 300 this year. But the reigning NL Player of the Week, I wonder why he got this. It's maybe because he was thrice Harper on Wednesday with 3 home runs against the Marlins in the swing everybody's talking about in baseball. You see right there, twice Harper on Friday, so 5 home runs in 2 games. Then how about topping it off with a little walk-off jack on Saturday, so we'll call him Nice Harper right there because he sent us all home happy. Look at Michael Taylor, the rookie, dumping water on everybody. But you talk about what he's done in this streak. 10 for 22, 455 average, 6 home runs. That'll get a lot of guys Player of the Month. Bryce Harper got Player of the Week.
Yeah, doing it all for the Nats. His on-base percentage is over .430. Leads the league in home runs and has that lofty RBI total of 28. So Bryce looks nice and relaxed. And the great thing is, he doesn't have to carry the ball club. There are plenty of other bats that are pretty hot right now as well.
Well, the Buffalo, Wilson Ramos has been on fire, but you look what these guys have done. The last 12 games, 10-2 record, first in the National League, runs per game 6, first in the National League, batting average 306. So Wilson Ramos, Bryce Harper, Ian Desmond, Danny Espinosa, everybody contributing up and down the line. But when you talk about Wilson Ramos, the 13-game hitting streak, 21 for 50, a 420 average, and then the big knock yesterday, they stayed in the ballpark, scored Ryan Zimmerman. He enjoyed it a little bit at the plate, and the Nats are enjoying themselves. They're playing great baseball. It's fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of.
And, of course, Max Scherzer starts this series against a really good-hitting Arizona ball club. When we were doing our homework about an hour and a half ago, the numbers both of these teams are putting up are truly impressive. So whoever has the best pitching in this series will take care of business.
Well, the story of this series to me is the Nats pitching against the Diamondbacks hitting. Diamondbacks hitting .311 as a ball club the last 6 games. The Nats staff 9-2 in their last 11 games with a low ERA. So whoever pitches the best is going to win this series, but the Diamondbacks are hot.
One matchup in particular, Max Scherzer against Paul Goldschmidt. They've never faced each other before. This guy's one of the premier players in all of baseball right now, hitting .345, power and RBIs. Can't wait to see the two righties get together. In downtown Phoenix, they've had the roof open for a day game yesterday, and again for the Nats and the D-backs here tonight. Washington has dominated this series in recent years, 14 of the last 18. Here's another significant fact: 6 straight series the Nats have won from the D-backs. Max Scherzer started his career at Chase Field way back in 2008, and the D-backs, last 6 games, they won 4 of them, and look at that. They're averaging nearly 7 runs a game, so they've got some good offensive things going on. And Paul Goldschmidt, MVP kind of guy, possible Triple Crown kind of guy someday, is the centerpiece of their offense.
Well, you take a great hitter and you put him in this park for 81 games, his numbers are going to be a little bit magnified, a little bit skewed, a la Colorado. But when you talk about what he's done his last 7 home games, he's only 14 for his last 27. That's a .519 average, 3 doubles, 2 homers, 7 RBIs, and Max Scherzer has been as good as it gets. Last start, he hung a slider to Giancarlo Stanton. Other than that, he was fantastic. So don't let the 5 runs he gave up last start fool you. He was lights out.
His 2.11 ERA is 7th best in the National League, and on the road, he's 1.38. So the Nats have been roughing up the D-backs, and that was Josh Colmenter last May, almost to the day, 1 year ago tomorrow. Tripled from Span, Tyler Moore, Ian Desmond going deep. The Nats and the D-backs, good offenses matching up in the desert. Brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you.
Strasburg is lost. He needs to get in the dugout.
He's going tomorrow night when he finds the clubhouse, and all will be well. The Nats have a chance to have Scherzer and Strasburg go Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday on this road trip. The roof is open, 92 degrees in downtown Phoenix, virtually no humidity. We're hoping that some of our East Coast allergies will get taken care of out here for a couple of days. So here's the Nats lineup. Up to 9th in the league in hitting at .250, 4th in runs, 3rd in home runs. And Jason Worth, since 2012 against Arizona pitching, .355. His overall career batting average against the D-backs is .322. And he's driven in 12 RBIs, 12 runs that is, in his last 18 games. So here is Josh Colmenter, 29-year-old right-hander, who's worked some as a starter and some as a reliever in his career.
Well, last year's fastball was 87, 88. This year it's 83, 84, but he's been very effective with it. He'll move the fastball up, he'll move the fastball down, throw an occasional changeup. But get this, the last 3 games, lefties are 8 for 40 off Coleman. They're a .200 average.
Well, here's Denard Span. Steps in hitting .284. 19 hits in 16 games. Coming off a day off. And the first pitch right on time at 9:40 Eastern time.
So you watch the odd delivery of Colmenter. It's almost like he's throwing an axe at you.
And Denard Span goes deep. See you later. What a way to start a road trip Spans third. The Nats blast out on top.
There goes the no-hitter. There goes the shutout. And that's the way this one starts. Denard Span getting everybody on their feet in the first base dugout with a leadoff tater.
Well, Denard Span, third of the year. The Nats' 33rd home run. Only the Dodgers and the Reds have hit more. Cole Mentor just gave up his 5th home run in just under 40 innings. There's Yunel Escobar back in the lineup today. And he goes to right center. 3 pitches, a homer, and now a base hit.
Well, let's go back to the leadoff home run for Denard Span, his 3rd already on the year. And just a fastball right down the middle, catches it out front, foot down early. And check out everybody in the back in the dugout. They knew, like we knew, that Bob was about to say see you later for the 100th time in the last 3 games. I mean, you are all over it. It must be nice.
Yeah, well, I'm trying not to take any credit for all of this. Those guys make it exciting for us when we're watching. That was Denard's 35th career home run. And here's Jason Worth. 0 for 3 career against Cole Mentor. By the way, with that base hit, Escobar 2 for 2 against him. And if you see 82, we're told by some of the Arizona people that's not his changeup, Effie. His fastball 82, 83 right now. Trying to do it with trickery and trying to hit some corners.
Well, he's not a corner guy. He's a north-south guy, which means he throws it high, he throws it low. But he's not a guy that's going to shave corners. You know why? You can't throw to corners when you have that release point that he has. It's like an Iron Mike pitching machine right over the top. He doesn't create any angles. You know, pitching machine doesn't hit corners, right?
3rd career start against the Nats. He is 2-0 with a 2.57 ERA. Career against Washington in 4 appearances overall. Crew chief Joe West, the dean of Major League umpires. Behind the plate, Kerwin Danley, Rob Drake, and DJ Rayburn around the bases. And Worth will take 83 low. Now there's Chip Hale, their new manager. Mike Harkey, the Diamondbacks pitching coach. Right now, they have a staff ERA of 3.86, 7th in the league. The Nats sitting at 3.47, top 5.
Chip, a good baseball man. They talk to people around here that they have a plan now. He's done a great job of, getting the right lineup in there, keeping everybody fresh, double switching. They like the way he's handled the bullpen. He's done a nice job so far.
3-1 to Worth. 76, and he takes it. 2 on, nobody out. And what a table is set for Bryce Harper's first at bat of this road trip.
If I'm facing a guy whose fastball is 82 and his changeup is 76, that's not a tough split for me as a hitter. That's not a good differential between speeds. Usually when it's 10 miles an hour difference, then as a hitter, you're really messing up my timing. But I don't have to rush to Josh Colementer's fastball. So as a hitter, if you're a Nationals hitter today, just let the ball get deep. Let it travel. There shouldn't be any hurry. And heads up right here. National League Player of the Week, Bryce Harper, coming off a monster homestand.
In a ballpark where under these kind of conditions the ball absolutely flies.
Yeah, windows open. This place is a launching pad.
Setting up way inside. Tuffy goes which the catcher.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, not only the roof open, but those panels up high in the outfield. Inside again. And this is not the Bryce Harper who a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago is up there getting himself out because 2 men are on base and nobody out. He just wants to hit one 800 feet. Bryce is going to make the pitcher make some quality pitches to him.
He's seeing the ball big. Hey, Jason Worth looking to see if Escobar's going.
77 on the changeup. That thing had severe movement away from Bryce, who thought he might be getting a fastball.
All in on the heater. Throws the changeup out in front. See if he doubles up on that same pitch.
He did. Ball 3. And there's a hot RBI guy on deck. The recent production, driving in runs of Ryan Zimmerman, has a significant impact on the success of Bryce Harper right now. This lineup really working well together. The 3-1 pitch, and Harper touches one off down the line near the pole and caught by Ender Inciarte. Worth back to first. Escobar read it and goes to third. And Bryce Harper missed another home run by maybe 2 or 3 feet.
Unbelievable. I mean, he didn't hit this ball well. It didn't have the sound, but the way the ball was carried in batting practice with the panels, everything open. Hear the sound? It wasn't that loud sound you're used to hearing, but in this ballpark, it doesn't have to be hit well. Right up against the fence, a fair ball all the way. And good job by Escobar to tag up and advance to third with 1 out. So a productive out by Harper, but I thought he had number 12. Oh, my goodness.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman.
He's playing slow pitch softball, and the rest of the league is playing baseball. I mean, this is just unbelievable.
Zimmerman 1 for 2 career against Josh Colmentor, and he'll take that one outside. Ryan starts the road trip, 6th in the league with 22 runs batted in. He sits safely 11 of his last 13 games. Target inner half. Zimmerman coming off a 5-hit series against the Braves. They drove in 5 runs, including 2 yesterday. And a little bit low, 2-1.
To the defense for the Diamondbacks behind Colmentor. Peralta, Pollock, and Ciarte, the outfield. Owings, Thomas, Tomasa right side. Hill, Goldschmidt the right side, and Tuffy Goswitch behind the plate and trying to rush it in before this pitch.
Yeah, they've only made 12 errors. Miami 10. Zimmerman hits one high and deep to left center. See you later. A 3-run shot, and the Nationals, after 5 batters, have 4 runs on the board. Look out, Bryce Harper. Ryan Zimmerman's trying to catch up with you with RBIs. He's up to 25 now.
That's why I was trying to rush the defense in there, and he was going deep.
Wow.
I'm telling you, when you come to this place as a hitter and you stand in this batter's box, you see the ball better than you see it in any other ballpark. You take batting practice here, the ball flies. So whether you're 0 for your last 10 or 10 for your last 10, you have ultimate confidence when you get in this box. Unless a guy like Randy Johnson is pitching.
Yeah.
You know.
And he and Kurt Schilling haven't been around here in a while.
Right.
So here's Wilson Ramos. Also coming off a productive series. A couple of RBIs yesterday. He got jammed, and that ball's still going to carry about 350. 2 outs.
So which Tater are we picking here? Let's go with Ryan Zimmerman. Second one here in the first inning. Denard Span got the party started with his 3rd. Ryan Zimmerman his 4th. A 3-run shot. And another see you later.
Wow. Off the blue advertising board out there. And for Zimmerman, his 4th of the year. The 188th of his big league career. Here's Ian Desmond. The Nats are up to 34 home runs now. Cincinnati starting today with 39, the Dodgers 48. Top 3 home run hitting teams in the National League. Desmond's hit 2. One of them career he has against Cole Mentor with a couple of RBIs. 2 for 6. 76 away, strike 2.
See, that's the show you right there. There's a hitting background right there. So it's coming out of that dark green background. And as a hitter, you have good backdrops in the big leagues, but this is the best one.
Target in. Better get it upstairs, and he did. Showing him the fastball. And the count 2-2. Ian Desmond 10 for his last 32. So over 8 ball games, hitting .313.
And as a hitter, you see the seams, you see the rotation, just when you have that dark contrast, and they all have it. There's just something about this place. It's so big that the ball seems brighter, and you just feel like you pick it up sooner. That's a good shot of it, guys.
Desmond, and to his left, Chris Owings, the shortstop, and a huge first inning for the Nats. Denard Span gets it going with his 3rd of the year. Kind of like the 2 he hit in Atlanta. And then after Escobar singles and Worth walks, Ryan Zimmerman comes up, and you can watch this baby fly. A 4 spot for the Nats. With Max Scherzer taking the mound. He will have to face some hot hitters, though. A.J. Pollock hitting .391 over his last 6 games. Doubles, couple of homers, and 7 RBIs. He's benefiting from hitting in front of Paul Goldschmidt. The big question is, who can protect Goldschmidt? It's David Peralta tonight batting cleanup.
You see the repertoire right there for Max. Fastball averaged 94 his last start. And we talked about that last start. 10 hits, 5 runs. I thought it was his best of the year. Throw that 5 runs out. He was nails last time out against the Marlins. -1 pitch, and I think he got a little tired in the 8th inning, to be honest with you. 49 strikeouts versus just 5 walks this year for Max Scherzer. He has been lights out.
Only 10 earned runs in 42 2/3 innings. The 2.11 ERA, 7th best in the National League. And as I mentioned earlier, 1.32 on the road. Gets a ground ball. It takes Ryan Zimmerman right to the bag.
So the defense for the Nats, see if I can get it right. Worth, Span, Harper, the outfield. Desmond, Escobar, left side. Espinosa, Zimmerman, right side. And Wilson, Ramos behind the plate. Yes.
Nice try. Denard in center. A lot of room to roam here. It's actually deeper in this ballpark in right center and left center than it is in straightaway center. 407 as opposed to 413 on either side. And here's A.J. Pollock, 27-year-old outfielder. And that one hits Scherzer. He pounces and throws and makes an outstanding play. 2 down.
Let's see if he's okay. Steve McCatty on the top step. Matt Williams, Steve Goberth. They're all going to come out and look at the right-hander. But what a play by Scherzer. Gamer. Got him in the left hamstring, it looks like.
Well, you sure don't want that hamstring to tighten up after taking a shot like that.
I just love the fact that he scrambled after it, got the out.
Well, here's the matchup we've been anticipating. Paul Goldschmidt, 4th in batting average and on base percentage and RBIs, 3rd in home runs. He's hitting right-handers to the tune of 345. 3rd in the league in runs and hits, top 5 in extra base hits. The only Diamondback in the lineup tonight who has faced Max Scherzer is Aaron Hill, their number 6 hitter, who used to be in the American League like Max. That's a hard slider, front door for a strike, right on the edge. Goldschmidt hit 300 last year. He was hurt. And Scherzer got up and in on him with a fastball. Danny Espinosa looking up through the open roof. How about that for a shutdown inning per your definition?
That's a shutdown inning. 1, 2, 3, get us right back in the dugout. It's not about no runs. It's about getting you right back in there and get those batting gloves on.
Here at Chase Field. American Standard wants you to celebrate the season with their All-Star Sales event. Who's hot? Harper, Ramos, Escobar, Zimmerman, and you could give some honorable mentions out too to guys like Danny Espinosa and even Jason Worth and Yunel Escobar doing the job game after game after game. Visit MidAtlanticComfort.com for amazing rebate and financing opportunities. Top second, Danny Espinosa, over his last 12 games, hitting .333 with 14 hits. Cole Mentor, 26th pitch of the game already. And taking FP's definition of a shutdown inning one step further, Max Scherzer, 7 pitches, 6 strikes.
I just think shutdown inning is thrown around too loosely.
Agreed.
A shutdown inning is 1, 2, 3. You have the momentum. Get me back in the dugout. Get that guy back on the mound again. Don't give him time to regroup. There's a shutout inning and a shutdown inning.
Off-speed pitch. That ball squirts off the side of the mound, and Chris Owings can't pick it up with a bare hand. Adds a base hit all the way for the speedy Danny Espinosa. So we are 3 hours behind you. But thanks for staying up, and we hope you're up with us for a while. On behalf of Dan and FP, I'm Bob at Chase Field, ballpark that opened in 1998, 18th year of Diamondbacks baseball. Max Scherzer has one sacrifice this year, 11 in his career. Be nice to lay down a bunt and get himself right back in the dugout. Foul ball.
They should have an app for your phone that when the Nats are on the West Coast, an alarm goes off when Bryce Harper's up. So
just in case you didn't make it.
Yeah, in case you doze off, you hear your phone ring, and all of a sudden, he's up. I'm just saying, he's must-see TV right now.
Well, how about the alarm could be 6 cracks of the bat from last week?
Whatever wakes you up.
Yeah.
Hammer over the head, it doesn't matter. You can't miss it.
That is a base hit as Scherzer crosses up the D-backs with a little butcher boy action. I'm glad it worked out better this time than last time.
Well, what a difference an inning makes. The first inning, ball's flying out of the ballpark. This inning, a couple of infield singles. The Nats in business again, and Max Scherzer looked at Tomas at third base, saw him coming in here. I'm going to show you the bunt. No, I'm just going to swing away. And look at the hustle down the first baseline. Look at him put his head down, getting after it. Just love everything this guy's about. Seriously, I mean, he's a baseball player that just happens to be a good pitcher.
First time through the order, the Nats go 4 for 8 with a walk. So here's Span, second time around already. And there's a lot of traffic on that infield with a guy in the box with this kind of speed. He shows bunt, 70 on the breaking ball.
Last time up, this was not a bunt. And if it was a bunt, it was a far bunt. And that's how he got this started. Easy swing by Denard Span. Nats fans high-fiving. First base dugout high-fiving. Broadcasters high-fiving.
They were high-fiving before the ball even got out of the yard. Nice. Well read by our fans, right field line.
But now what's up?
Span up the middle, base hit. Around third, Danny Espinosa. Up with it, A.J. Pollock, who has 4 outfield assists. No chance to throw out Espinosa, and the Nationals lead 5-0. Span 2 RBIs tonight, 9 on the year.
Third baseman, Escobar.
When you play your division so many games in a row and you finally get out of your division, as a player, you kind of like it because there's a feeling out period the first couple games of a series. I don't care what the scouting report says. They don't know you as well as the Marlins or the Braves or the Phillies, teams that you're playing every single day. So you go up there and you're wondering how they're going to work you, and maybe they don't really know how to work you, and the Nats are taking advantage of that right now. You know where guys go to lunch in your own division. But when you get on the road, it's kind of refreshing as a player because they don't know you. And you can sit in those meetings and if guys are listening, if they're spacing out. And it's kind of refreshing to play some new teams, and got to see why.
I find it quite refreshing that 5 of the first 10 batters on this road trip have hits.
That's refreshing.
Here's Escobar. He went opposite field. Line drive over Aaron Hill's glove. First time up. 2 on, nobody out still. And a 5 spot on the board for the Nats. 78 on the changeup. Goes which moves inside. Escobar gets jammed and pops it up.
Oh, we're going to get a foul ball series. I'm calling it.
Okay.
We're due.
This is one of the great positions for us in the league.
It is.
Right above the lower deck, under the upper deck. It's one of the, hey, there we go. Not that high up. Hey, by the way, that's Bob Boone and Mike Rizzo over there, and Phil Rizzo's there too. Gang's all here. So that's how close we are to the field here. It can be done at one of the newer ballparks. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Escobar, a good 2-strike hitter. That is beyond the reach of Goldschmidt. Scherzer coming around third. He'll be held. With that in mind, Span scampers back into second. And the Nats have 4 consecutive singles. And they have picked some good spots to sneak through the infield.
But look at the inside out swing from Yunel Escobar. Just a great 2-strike approach, a great approach every at-bat. A guy that doesn't give away a pitch. He's so intense every single pitch. And what's not to love about Yunel Escobar early in this season? Maybe get an app that just goes off every time the Nats get a hit and then you just don't sleep ever. Because right now the line is moving. I'm gonna make one.
So here's Worth, who walked first time. Well, so important to be disciplined at the plate against a pitcher like this. So Worth already 4 slams in his career. And that 76 slowed down his bat. Counts even 1-1. So Espinosa led off the inning with a single. Then Max Scherzer, who's at third now, followed with 1. Span the RBI hit. And then Escobar, beyond the reach of Goldschmidt, loading him up. 5 runs on 7 hits. And Jason Worth is the 12th batter of this game. And Worth will touch one off to right center. Got some carry on it. Pollock's got a great arm. We'll watch Span at second. He goes to third easily. Coming home to score, Max Scherzer. So they get him back in the dugout. And Jason Worth's 9th RBI makes it 6-0.
I don't know if it was deep enough, but I like the fact that Yunel Escobar didn't tag at first base or try to tag at first base and leave it open and allow the Diamondbacks to walk Bryce Harper. Now they have to pitch to him.
Yeah, good call.
And this ballpark's making me want to go hit. I mean, their ball is flying here tonight. This is crazy.
Well, the Nats have a 5-man bench, so they've maxed out right now on available personnel. But I get your point. Harper to the base of the right field wall first time. On a ball he didn't hit that well. First pitch changeup. And Cole Mentor pitching at the major league level with a fastball under the mid-80s. Has to rely on that changeup. And they got inside on him like they wanted to. No balls, 2 strikes. Bryce last week 10 for 16 with 6 homers and 13 runs batted in. It was kind of behind the scenes, but I don't think Bryce would mind me telling this story. Today when we got here on the bus, he was standing outside the clubhouse down in the tunnel with a young man who appeared to be an employee of the Diamondbacks in a wheelchair. Went in the clubhouse for about 20 minutes, got some work done, came out. Bryce Harper was still there talking with that young man.
He was.
He does so many things that people don't know about. On a pitch up. Popped it up, and that'll get out of play to the right side. They called up Vidal Nuno today and sent out right-hander Evan Marshall. So the Diamondbacks bullpen is working very early. Harper takes it up and away, 2-2. They started Daniel Hudson yesterday. Normally one of the guys out of their bullpen. And so he's kind of not available for a couple of days. They only have a 4-man bench. and a 7-man bullpen. And really right now just 6 arms available out there. 2-2 pitch. Harper pulls it, high bouncer, foul. Diamondbacks at home are 8-10.
I was talking to Jason Worth today about being in the zone. I said, there's times when you're in the zone where you get to first base and the first base coach asks you what pitch you hit. You say, I don't know. He said Bryce Harper said the same thing the other day on a home run. He said, what'd you hit? He said, I don't know. That means you're in the zone.
Still only 1 out. Span at third. Escobar at first. Bryce with 28 RBIs. And he takes it off the plate to fill the count. Jock Peterson of the Dodgers has caught Harper in walks. That's because Bryce has been rounding the bases so much. They each have 27. All the runners holding. Harper with a base hit. So there's RBI number 29. The Nationals now lead 7-0. Bryce Harper doing a great job of taking what the game is giving him.
Lousy single. Nice piece of hitting on a 3-2 pitch. I mean, and I'm telling you, if Ryan Zimmerman keeps hitting behind Bryce Harper, you have to pitch to Harper. His numbers are going to go up. This is how hitting is contagious, and a short night for Josh Colmenter.
He got 4 outs while facing 13 hitters. This call to the bullpen package by the UPS Store. Your one-stop shop for all your small business needs. Let us handle your mailbox service needs. We love logistics.
Fans, join us for the Outdoor Recreation Night.
Ryan Zimmerman, his first at-bat, 4th home run of the year, 25th RBI. And the line is moving, folks, and the boys are swinging it.
Zimmerman, the big blast to the game right now, the 3-run homer. RBI total shooting up to 25. Vidal Nuno started his big league, actually his professional career with Cleveland. Drafted him back in '09 with the Yankees for a while. D-backs got him in a trade July 6th of last year involving Brandon McCarthy.
The fastball, slider, curveball change. Fastball average is 88.
0-1 pitch. And that one cutting in on Ryan Zimmerman. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Ryan now hitting safely 12 of his last 14 games.
Shaved his beard. Clean shaven, goes deep.
Just missing 2-1. So at second base, Yunel Escobar. The base hit before the Worth sac fly. And then Bryce Harper, who just drove in his 29th run. Zimmerman doesn't go biting, and the bases are loaded again. Wilson Ramos, another multi-hit game yesterday.
Well, he drove in Ryan Zimmerman a few times. This one on a base hit to right to extend his hitting streak to 13 games. And then the big blow, the double that stayed in the ballpark, and Ryan Zimmerman scored all the way from first and basked to the glory with that slide for a couple of minutes. That was awesome.
Yeah, digging the slide by Zimmerman. Wilson Ramos, that was his 10th multi-hit game in his last 18 times out. Look out. Wow, he just slammed one up against the railing of the Diamondbacks dugout. Mark Trumbo not in the lineup tonight because he's 0 for 8 career against Max Scherzer. His career high hitting streak, by the way, is 14 games. And he's done it twice. Into the left field corner. Escobar scores. Harper home easily. Here comes Ryan Zimmerman. Play at the plate. Ball bouncing in. And Wilson Ramos clears the bases. 10-0.
My goodness.
We mentioned this the other day, FP. For Ramos, the extra base hits are now happening.
Well, why is hitting contagious? First of all, when you're getting your base hits, you're feeling relaxed as a hitter. When you're feeling relaxed, your athletic ability comes out. If the guy behind you's hitting, they're thinking about him while they're pitching to you. It just affects the whole way the lineup works. And right now, especially tonight, as that one drills Ryan in the back of the head.
Wow.
Guys are thinking, if you're pitching against the Nats right now, you're thinking 1, 2, 3 hitters away. You're wondering where Bryce Harper is if you're pitching to Denard Span. I got to get Span out because Harper's 2 hitters. That's how hitting is contagious. People say it all the time. They don't explain what it means.
9 of these runs charged to Josh Colmenter, whose .340 ERA will take a big-time beating. 0-1 to Desmond. Change up, low and away, 0-2. No way to get to that. So Ian, the 9th Nat to bat here in the second. Right now, this ballpark's about as quiet as a desert is at this time of the evening.
Winter desert's noisy. Maybe like
when they build a golf course on one.
What do you call those? What do you call those storms? The sandstorms.
Oh.
They got named. Remember we talked about last year?
Sandstorms. No. This looks like a sandstorm to me right here. Desmond, did he stop? No. Called out by the home plate umpire, Joe West. 2 outs. Crowd loves it. Bronx cheers in Phoenix.
The Washington Nationals Fans Choice Flexpack are on sale now. Choose from some of this season's best matchups. When you pick 4 games, you get 1 free. Go to nationals.com/flex to pick your games today. I picked this one. I know it's at home, but I'm just going to take this one.
Danny Espinosa started this inning with an infield hit off the bare hand of Chris Owings. Base hit all the way. And here he is with a chance to have a good game in 1 inning. Fastball, yes, outside edge. No balls, 2 strikes.
It's called a haboob. See?
Oh, yeah.
And it's 10-0. Stay with us. It's going to be fun tonight.
I think somebody called me one of those one time.
Wasn't me, I swear.
I think it was a member of my own family, actually. Breaking ball, Espinosa makes contact and fouls it into the Diamondbacks dugout. I mean, they feel like target practice over there, too. Yosemite Dan here in the desert.
Yep.
Right?
Coming out. Guns blazing.
See, and you've mentioned this. Players have to get used to the fact that your preseason picture, you're going to have to live with it all season.
Well, I think he knew that. I think that was the point.
Okay.
We used to see how messed up we could make him look at spring training and laugh at it in the dugout for 162 games.
And the 0-2, Danny takes it up and away. He is the only guy who walks up and down the aisle of the plane with a cowboy hat on.
Yes.
Espinosa 15 for his last 43. And he's showing good discipline at the plate as well. 88 outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So here we are in the bottom of the second. The Nats are 1 batter away from going through the order twice. And who is this Danny Espinosa? Constantly making contact on 2 strikes and keeping at bats alive.
He's just confident. He's getting a chance to play. His left-handed swing is as good as I've ever seen it. His right-hand swing is still as violent as it's ever been. And
Tuffy Gozwich took one right in the forehead area.
And he might have had the most under-the-radar 2 home run gate in Nats history.
Yeah. Fastball blown by him at 90. So Vidal Nuno comes in, walk double, but gets a couple of outs. 10-0.
Already. Opposing hitters have swung at the first pitch of an at-bat against Scherzer 41% of the time. That's the most of any starting pitcher in the majors, just more than Matt Harvey and Clayton Kershaw. And Steve McCatty told me that he sees the early swings as a positive thing, because if hitters are hacking early and Scherzer can make a quality pitch, he can get a quick out. McCatty said, we're not going to let the opponents being aggressive dictate how we pitch. We're aggressive. That's the way we roll. And a byproduct of all this early swings is that Scherzer has been able to keep his pitch counts pretty manageable. He's gone at least 6 innings in every start so far, and at least 7 in 5 of his 6 outings.
Well, it's good stuff right there, Dan. And you remember in Atlanta when I talked to Tom Glavine about pitching with a lead. How do you pitch with a 10-run lead? And he said it's important to stay in thirds of the plate and fourths of the plate. What does that mean? You cut up the plate into 3 or 4 pieces and keep pitching to the corners, keep mixing it up. He said there's a tendency when you have a big lead to pitch 2 halves of the plate, meaning just split it in half. And where you throw a 2-1 changeup, you say, oh, I'm up by 10, I throw a 2-1 fastball. No, you got to keep pitching to corners, keep pitching your game plan, and somehow trick yourself that it's a 0-0 game.
So that's FP with a little icing on the cake on the Coons.com sideline report. The hitter's David Peralta, and when you're talking cars, you're talking Coons. 27-year-old outfielder who broke in a big way with the D-backs last year, hitting .286. Danny Espinosa gets behind it, and Scherzer attacking the strike zone. His 4 outs have come on about 10 pitches, and 3 of them on the ground, the other one's a pop-up. And by the way, each of his last couple of starts, he has struck out exactly 10 batters. We don't care if he strikes out no one tonight as he continues to attack. He wants to get contact outs and get this ball game rolling. Next up, Yasmani Tomas, young man who defected from Cuba. Diamondbacks signed him as a free agent last December 8th. He played 5 years in the Cuban Serie Nacional and hit .289. His first professional season, by the way, was at the age of 18.
And he only signed for 6 years, $65 million.
Whew.
Without a day in the big leagues.
Mercedes-Benz on the pitch track.
Excuse me, Carp. That's example right there. 1-1 slider from Max Scherzer. Pitch your game. Don't pitch to the score.
And Tomas gets around very late.
I'm told that he doesn't pull a lot of pitches. His power's up the middle the other way. And you saw a 96 right there from Max.
Right down the middle with a 95 heater. And the batter runs away to the dugout. 2 down.
I've told that he's taken a lot of called third strikes this year. And here's another example. You have to be looking fastball in the big leagues with 2 strikes. And that was with a lot of plate. He just saw a 96. And I don't know what he was looking for.
Well, and we all know there are other parts of the world where they play professional baseball that you don't get 0-2 fastballs. And sometimes you don't get any.
Well, this isn't that part.
I know. Well, that's quite an investment for the future, and they hope it works out. Here's Aaron Hill. Here's a guy who's 33 years of age who's playing great baseball. Aaron Hill right now, 12 for his last 26 with 7 RBIs on 3 homers over 9 games. And as I mentioned earlier, he's the only D-back in the lineup who has faced Max Scherzer 2 for 12 career. 0-2 pitch. Buried the slider. Max tonight looking for career win number 94. It's his 205th start. He pitched one other game earlier in his career for the Tigers against the D-backs in Detroit, June of 2010, and beat them, giving up just about nothing. A couple of runs over 7 innings with 8 strikeouts. 1-2 pitch. We're almost getting a workout on a couple of mid-80s breaking balls. First year here, he was 0-4. Then he went 9-11. On to Detroit, where he won 12 games his first year with the Tigers in that 2010 season. That was paint, and he didn't get the call. 3-2.
96'd him.
Slider in the middle of the plate. Hitter getting what he did not expect. And that's 2 Ks for Scherzer after the ground ball that started the inning. 6 in a row for Max. And the offense to the max so far. 10-0. connections. Denard Span gets the thing off to the best start possible. A leadoff homer. He already has 2 RBIs, a couple of runs. Ryan Zimmerman, the big blast. Wilson Ramos cleared the bases, and Bryce Harper has an RBI as well. So here we go, top third, and Max Scherzer batting for the second time. .86 and a swing and a miss. He got his second base hit of the season last time up. Doug Fister has 3, Scherzer has 2. Jordan Zimmerman 1 hit among the starters. And the breaking ball to dirt strikes him out. 3 consecutive Ks for Vidal Nuno.
Well, if you missed it, Denard Span's 2 at-bats tonight. Let it off with the homer. What was that, about 10 rows deep? Number 3 on the year. Then a single right back up the middle, just to remember that he's a leadoff hitter and he's not a home run guy. Locking it back in. That scored Danny Espinosa. So Denard Span needs a double and a triple for the cycle. Should have had one in Atlanta.
Yeah, no long way to go in this game.
See what he said to himself right there? He said fastball. Talking to himself. I like it.
That one paints the outer edge. Denard came in at 284. Now batting 304. Not a bad 0-2 pitch by Nuno. He's 27 years of age. Born in National City, California, right by the border south of San Diego, where he now lives. Denard locked up on the breaking pitch, and that's 4 Ks in a row for the left-hander. Moment in history brought to you by University of Maryland, University College. Charles Duke Farrell. Back in 1897, he threw out 8 Orioles trying to steal second base.
When did he put the red light on it?
I was going to say, who was the first base coach or the manager?
Who was the third base coach? You got to stop him after at least 6. I mean, that takes run till they tag you to a whole new level.
Wow. Well, 3 for 3, Yunel Escobar. Deciding to turn on one after going to right field a couple of times. He seems like one of those guys who can guide the ball to whatever part of the field he so desires. Amazing.
Well, when you get hits the other way, you figure the team's going to come in on you, try a different place. He thought right. I'm still blown away by 8 guys getting thrown out. Sorry, it's going to take me a minute.
So Escobar, after not feeling well yesterday, and they waited a little bit today to post the lineup when it was determined he could be in there, and boy has he. He's now 14 for his last 29 in 8 games. Worth the hitter. Harper on deck. One ball, 1 strike.
Jason Worth trying to jump on this hit parade.
Nats getting a little help tonight. Phillies lost at home to the Pirates. Braves won 1 at Cincinnati, 6th inning. And the Cubs are ahead of the Mets 4-3, 7th inning in Chicago. Marlins at Dodgers just underway. That one comes around the outside corner, and a flinch by the pitcher and the catcher. They thought they had a strike. And Joe West hearing about it from Chip Hale's dugout, third base side.
Jason's closed his stance back up. He's not as open. I think he did that his last at bat yesterday. And it took me 3 at-bats today to notice it, so I'm on it.
Yeah, he had a base on balls that last time up. That's in there. 3-2. Escobar will be running. Worth has already driven in his 9th run of the year tonight with a sac fly. And just got a piece of it off the end.
You know, as a hitter in games like this, too, you know you got 5 or 6 at-bats coming. So there's a tendency to maybe lose focus because you're up 10-0. But then you have to remind yourself you got a lot of chances coming tonight, and you don't want it to be one of those, 1 for 6s or 1 for 5s.
Worth a one-hopper. Handcuffed Aaron Hill just a bit, and the Nats are gone. First time they failed to score tonight. They've stranded 2 runners, but 10 have touched home plate. Williams, third baseman, Arizona Diamondbacks. Taking hits away from guys on the backhand side. Sorry, Brian Jordan. Sorry, Andy Benes. Into the seats left field. What an outstanding player he was here.
15 years in the organization, Matt Williams. 1998 to 2003. 05 to 13 is part owner, broadcaster, and coach. And he ranks among Arizona's all-time leaders in RBI, home runs, and total bases. And we can't wait to see him.
What a great third baseman.
In the Legends race, or whatever they call it.
Yeah. 4 Gold Gloves, 4 Silver Sluggers total in his career, 5 All-Star games. Some great numbers brought to you by Jeep, and some great memories for Matt here when they were wearing the old purple, green, and gold of Arizona in the early years. Play right side off the bat of Chris Owings, the shortstop. 23 years of age, from Charleston, South Carolina. He was chosen number 41 overall 6 years ago. Hit .261 here last year. And a pick by Desmond. Gets rid of it. Not in time. Owings, one of the fastest guys on their team, and he and Desmond made it very close.
And would you know, the guy who's struggling the most for the Diamondbacks, we've went over all the hot hitters they've had. He's 4 for his last 25 in his last 7 games, but he gets the first knock of the night barely for the Diamondbacks. Great play by Ian Desmond, popped up, sidearm throw, a lot of strength with the arm right there. But Owens can fly, like you said.
Tuffy Gozwitz, the catcher. 225 here in 41 games last year. Miguel Montero has moved on to the Cubs. And that's a front door slider of beauty right under his hands. Max Scherzer, first 2 innings, 21 pitches, 16 strikes. Goes swinging the bat well, 8 for 18 over his last 6 games, with 5 runs batted in. Sit into a couple of double plays on the ground, and a 1-2. Popped up right side. Foul ball for Ryan Zimmerman. Walking right through the coach's box to put that one away, 1 out.
Nats Plus membership features incredible benefits, including discounts, exclusive events, and more. For a limited time, new members can also receive an official 10th anniversary Nats jersey. That is while supplies last. Nationals.com/Nats Plus. Join today. Thank you, Stephen.
Right through the net behind home plate. Here's Vidal Nuno, who was 1 for 18 for the Diamondbacks last year. He got a bunch of at-bats because after coming over from the Yankees, he started 14 games. He went 0-7 with a 3.76 ERA, but he's a guy who could settle this game down for a while and keep their bullpen from being totally hammered early in this series. Wilson Ramos on the full run back to the barrier to grab that bunt. Outstanding play.
That was, I feel like, a little more than a bunt, wasn't it? It looked like he tried to half swing it over somebody's head. Watch the attempt right here. Just pushes at it a little hard. Ramos, I don't know about you, but when he was running back, I was thinking, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt.
Not now.
Nice play by Wilson. Good hustle. Hit the brakes, little padding there.
When do we ever talk about catchers feeling the warning track? He did right there.
Yeah, good call.
Top of the order, here's Ender Inciarte. Bouncing ball to Ryan Zimmerman, first time up to start the game for them. Fastball up, he holds.
Are you bunting down 10-0 in the third?
I got to let a guy who's 1 for 18 hack. You never know.
You never know.
2 for 19. Yeah, that was a little unusual. And he'll go out to right center. Bernard Span cutting it off in front of Bryce Harper. They'll hold the runner at third. And the Diamondbacks have their first extra base hit. Inciarte came into this game hitting .304.
Well, Bernard Span ahead 10 runs, did a nice job of keeping Chris Owings from scoring. You saw how fast Owings is, and you're thinking, if he doesn't get to this ball, it's a run. And you love the hustle by Span, playing it like it's nothing, and now Max Scherzer has a chance to strand a few out there with 2 outs.
A.J. Pollock slammed one off the leg of Max Scherzer first time up. That buys him a first pitch slider that went sliding right past Paul Goldschmidt in the on-deck circle. Is Paul Goldschmidt out of this game?
Looks like it.
Is that Jordan Pacheco on deck? He's one of their catchers, and looks like he might take over at first base, and maybe they want to get Goldschmidt off his feet in a 10-0 game. Interesting. So Gordon Pacheco, former Colorado Rocky, on deck here.
I would say later in the game, Carp, but not in this ballpark at this point in the third inning. No.
Yeah.
Maybe in the 7th if you're down by 10, but not. There's too much baseball left to be played in a launching pad.
And maybe we're speculating. Maybe Paul Goldschmidt hurt something or tweaked something early in the game. Hopefully we'll hear about that soon. Runners at second and third, 2 outs, and now Scherzer has Pollock 0-2. Here he is. Slider downstairs for the strikeout. There's Max Scherzer, in that case, reaching back for a little extra on the breaking ball to get the strikeout. Great real works duo. Bryce Harper getting the rosin, getting the contact, getting the home runs, the RBIs, and earning National League Player of the Week, and a couple of showers too.
there. He'll be in the home run derby. He's going to hit a couple of balls. Is it to Paducah?
You're right.
Maybe in the
downriver from Cincinnati.
Yes. Go to
Thank
nationals.com/vote to place your votes for whatever Nat you like right now. Oh, my God. He'll hit that riverboat, the center.
A couple of bazookas to Paducah. Top of the fourth. Bryce will pop this one up on the first swing out in left center. Owings out. And the center fielder, A.J. Pollock, takes charge. Bryce 1 for 3 with an RBI.
First baseman
Ryan Zimmerman stepping in, and Dan Coco, he is some big part of this offense right now.
He is, Bob, but he came in today just hitting .232 on the year, and some hitters might be tempted to tweak their stance or approach if they're struggling numbers-wise early on. Zimmerman says he's stuck with the same routine. He says that he's actually felt good at the plate all season and has also found in the past that when you panic and try and change things, it tends to only add another week or two to the struggles. He's done the same thing offensively for 10 years now. He says by the end of the year, he finds things always work out for him, and he's going to trust that they will again.
You know, it's been 2009 since Ryan Zimmerman has played an injury-free season. Knocking on wood for him and hoping for the best. He's usually a pretty quick starter. He was hitting .364 at the time he got hurt last year, early.
Well, that's just what veterans do. They don't panic. Younger players will change their stance, will change your approach, and what happens generally is you get so far away from where you started, your whole season's kind of thrown off because you're lost. Like, where was I? I'm on stance number 12 already. But a veteran guy that trusts his ability, that has confidence in his approach, isn't going to do that.
Here's Wilson Ramos, and he lines a laser right at Aaron Hill. So Nuno throwing strikes, the Nats being aggressive, and you can do that when you're up by 10. Diamondbacks. Let's have a look at our PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, minor league report, checking on Pedro Severino, who's at AA Harrisburg right now. Last 10 games, over 340 for the season, over 290. He's considered one of the top 3 position player prospects in the organization. And Pedro is only 21 years of age.
Well, I'm told this guy can really catch. He can really throw. He's very athletic behind the plate. He can swing it. And he is on the fast track to the big leagues. He's some kind of player.
Won't be 22 until almost the end of July. Max Scherzer back to work, 35 pitches, 28 strikes his first 3 innings. Twirling a 2-hit, no-run game so far. And a ball hit the deep center. Denard Span back in all that room, and he takes it in about 15 feet in front of the 407 off the bat of Jordan Pacheco, who took over at first for Paul Goldschmidt.
A good jump by Denard Span. This will give you a good look at it from high home. The route he takes. Little adjustment at the end, 400 and some odd feet away from home plate. I found it interesting, and I have to talk about it, that Chip Hale has given Paul Goldschmidt the rest of this game off. And I understand that Goldschmidt has played a lot, and you look for...
Towering drive to right from David Peralta. Bryce Harper right there.
Opportunities to give guys days off, but he already had Pacheco in the on-deck circle, Cart, and had A.J. Pollock reached, it would have been bases loaded, 2 outs for one of the best players in the National League. One swing would have made this a 6-run game. I'm just saying hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess seeing the Nats come back from 10-2 in Atlanta has made me see a lot of things differently. That wasn't against Max Scherzer, though.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he's thinking.
Here's Yasmani Tomas, who took a heater right down the middle first time up. Goes right side that time. Zimmerman backhand. Bounces to Scherzer. How about that? 3-1. Zimmerman with range. Scherzer soft hands.
Not a problem. I think Ryan Zimmerman meant to bounce this. Check this out. Backhand play. He knew that Espinosa's up the middle. Big hop for Scherzer. Nicely done.
Known everywhere churro dog featured at Chase Field. Wow. 2 more chances for churro dogs tomorrow night and Wednesday afternoon. Strasburg, Robbie De La Rosa tomorrow. Gio and Jeremy Hellickson before the Nats move on to San Diego. The world famous churro dog.
I got fatter just looking at that.
And a ball to the shortstop. Ian Desmond didn't get all of it. And it was a rather easy play for Chris Owings, who I think had that ball kind of have changeup action on its way to him.
Second baseman, Danny Espinosa.
Next up, Denny Espinosa, and then Max Scherzer, top of the 5th. He goes up hacking, and Danny Espinosa's 2 for 3. Danny's dad, some of his buddies over from California. Always good to see Dan Sr. here, and he's got to be pleased.
Big leg kick, roll the wrist, fast infield.
Pitcher, Max Scherzer.
Good contact again from Danny Espinosa. And his average goes up to 272 with that hit. How about that?
Awesome. Scherzer's going to go 2 for 3. 1 hopper out to David Peralta. And the bottom 2 hitters in the order tonight are 4 for 6.
I just love how Max Scherzer for 4 days is the funniest guy in this ball club, the loosest guy in this club. And then when it comes to his day to pitch, he's locked and loaded. He's focused. He doesn't talk to anybody. It's his day. And you could just tell, you can sense it even up here or at home watching on TV, whether he's hitting, whether he's bunting, or whether he's on the mound. Just a gamer.
Here's Span. Denard 2 for 3, homer single, 2 RBIs, 2 runs.
Guys like Max Scherzer are guys you like to play behind. He makes me miss baseball. Those are the guys you want to run through a fence for. Those are the guys you want to dive for everything for. Love the way he plays.
Absolutely. By the way, he's coming off a 5-pitch bottom of the 4th.
Oh, that's good too.
He has as many hits as the Diamondbacks do tonight.
But he's not facing himself. If he was facing himself,
he'd be 0 for 50.
He'd be 0 for 3 right now with 3 Ks.
Good call, not facing himself.
Although he might know what's coming.
Might not help. Span out to left center, and that's David Peralta. 2 down. Escobar next, and he's working on a perfect night. Escobar against the right-hander, Cole Mentor, 2 base hits to right. As soon as he faced a lefty in the 3rd inning, he got frisky early in the count, pulled one hard to the other side of the field.
330.
How about that? You know, Escobar's career batting average, 276 coming into this season. He had 299 for the Braves in 141 games back in 09. It was kind of in the 275 to 290 range with Toronto. 256 last year at Tampa Bay. Counts even, 1-1. Just because it's 10 o'clock, folks, you're not going to bed just yet, are you? 11 o'clock. 10's the score, pardon me.
Tighten it up, would you?
That's something when you're confusing the time with the score. That's a really good sign. That's baseball here on Masson. And Escobar is 4 for 4. Here comes Espinoza. Scherzer stops at second. Okay, it is 11 o'clock and 11-0. RBIs by the handfuls for the Nats tonight.
336 now for Yunel Escobar, working a perfect night. Up, elevated, off speed, fast infield. The mound kind of kicked it back toward Chris Owens. 11 runs on 13 hits, folks.
And Escobar only 1 week removed from his 5-hit game against the Marlins last Monday. Curveball in there to Jason Worth. 11 runs on 13 hits. '87. Couldn't get it upstairs. 0-2.
Had somebody tweet at me today that they saved our Relax Open from Boston, and they look at it every day, especially now that the team's playing good.
Now that's entertainment. I've noticed that your mantra from last year has crept back into your commentary. Enjoy the ride. It's happening.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I just wish I could relax in general.
Two and two. Worth gets the count back even. Bryce Harper on deck here. Top of the 5th inning. 4 in the first, 6 in the second for the Nats. And Worth works the count to 3-2. He's already walked once tonight and scored, hit a sac fly. On a pitch up, it's popped up. Right fielder, Inciarte. The Nats are gone in the 5th. But our run on 3 hits and Escobar 4 for 4.
Fastball. Boom. How about a slider? Okay, how about a nasty slider? Wow. So Max Scherzer on it tonight, on top of his game. Off-speed fastball on point. Now it's time for Toyota. Case for Kids. The Washington area Toyota dealers want to help children and families by making a donation of $37 to the Children's Inn at NIH for every strikeout by net pitcher this season.
And as we mentioned, he has struck out 10 each of his last 2 times out. Couple, now 3 tonight. But the bottom line is he's got a big lead and he's averaging 10 pitches per inning. Aaron Hill, strikeout victim number 2, looking to end the 2nd inning. Hill, right center, Span, and he will run a great route and get there.
Touchdown to Nard. Little post pattern for number 2. Hit him right in stride. Not a problem. Very interesting conversation, Crump, today on MLB Network. And it was about when you have a pitcher out there and he's your horse with a big lead, do you leave him in? Do you conserve innings right now? Do you let him go? Do you pretend it's just another game? Or like you see managers do with position players, get them off their feet with a big lead? Do you get one of your horses off their feet with a big lead?
Good question. And again, this one might come back to what time of the year is it?
Well, obviously you got to get through 5 to
sure
qualify for the W, but how deep do you go with the pitch count on Max tonight is probably the only question that Matt Williams has in this game. Maybe get a few guys off their feet like Jason Worth. Guys have been grinding every day. Zimmerman.
But I'll tell you who's been grinding lately, the bullpen. Those guys have worked a lot.
True.
And if you have a guy averaging 10 pitches per inning, I tend to leave it up to him. Easy to manage up here, huh?
Oh, yeah.
2-2. Scherzer to Chris Owings, who hit that ball to deep short. Ian Desmond made a fantastic play to almost throw him out. Backup slider stayed up and in, 3-2. By the way, just for reference, Max Scherzer 1 career complete game. Jammed him, and Owings able to get it out there and go 2 for 2. He's just 23 years of age, out of South Carolina. And next up will be the catcher, Tuffy Gozwich.
Well, the Diamondbacks are heading the right direction regardless of tonight's score. They got a good new manager in Chip Hale. They got Dave Stewart in the front office. Tony La Russa's here. They have a plan now, and it's something they really haven't had for a few years. It was just kind of trade this guy, get rid of this guy, let's add this guy.
On a pitch up, Gozwich with a base hit. And it'll be another at bat, by the way, for Vidal Nuno, the pitcher.
Throw this lineup out there, put this guy in this day. Now they have a plan. They're moving in the right direction. They have an organizational philosophy. And Tony La Russa knows what he's doing, obviously. Dave Stewart, the ultimate competitor. Same way with Chip Hale. They are definitely trending north here in the desert, and it's only a matter of time before they win. And they're having a good season so far.
La Russa's title, by the way, Chief Baseball Officer. Dave Stewart, who pitched for him in Oakland, Senior VP and GM.
Best game face ever on the mound, Dave Stewart.
Did you ever have to stare at that from 60 feet?
I didn't.
Never faced him.
No. If I did, I don't remember, which wouldn't shock me either.
That ball's pretty well hit, left field corner. Jason Worth over to get it. Runners will stay at first and second, 2 down.
Right field, Ender Inciarte.
Top of the order, Ender Inciarte. There's another Oakland flavor to the staff from La Russa's days as well. His longtime base coach. As Inciarte walks in, there's Dave McKay, who worked for La Russa in Oakland and St. Louis. Last couple of years with the Cubs before coming over here.
I love his glasses. I think they look good. It's a good baseball man right there.
He is. Inciarte double right center gap last time. Ramos wants it down and away. A little up and away, but great location. Veering away from the outside edge.
So 11-0. Watch Max Scherzer. Don't watch the pitch. Watch him pounce off the mound after this. Square up and want the ball back. I mean, he's pitching like this is 0-0. And that's the go-ahead run on second base.
Ramos able to block it. The one part of Wilson Ramos' game that has really elevated over the last year or two is the way he blocks pitches.
Yeah, he's gotten better. And I still think there's room for improvement. A lot of times he chooses to glove the baseball. And I think as he keeps going, he'll slide over and start blocking more of those with the chest protector. So it's 50-50 when you just try to glove it with runners on.
Well, by the way, tonight's the second multi-hit game of Scherzer's career. Did it back in 2009. So doing it all for the Nats tonight, trying to keep this thing a potential no-run game through 5. He'll throw the changeup. Looked exactly like the fastball until it was too late. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's number 56 coming.
Yeah, 15 so far in this inning. His longest frame of the night. And that was 81 up and in. The breaking pitch. Second inning took a while because he struck out 2 batters. Third inning took a while because of 2 hits and 2 more here. In 2 of his 1-2-3 innings tonight, the first and the fourth, he threw a combined 12 pitches to get 6 batters. Inciarte battling here. Fastball away. He stays alive.
I'm pretty sure you should ask Chip Hale, the manager of the Diamondbacks, the definition of innings that took a while tonight.
Relatively speaking. Well, your starter gives up 8 hits, 9 runs in an inning and a third. This one down the line. Harper over to get it, and Bryce there in plenty of time. Diamondbacks a couple of base runners. They've stranded 4 tonight. Scherzer continues to shine. Bryce Harper leads off, top of the 6th.
Right there, Matt Williams with the eye black on. Not really running as fast as our presidents do. And I don't think Matt Williams won that. And I don't think his back is that hunched, by the way. And there's the skipper. Finished second. He said, all right. I mean, they really couldn't let him win tonight down 11-0, could they?
Yeah, I guess they can't let the Nats win everything tonight.
That is one huge heat. What size hat is that? 162 3/4?
I think so. Breaking ball, Nuno to Harper, strike 1. 6th inning underway. Diamondbacks a couple of defensive changes we'll update you on here. One ball, one strike. So the starter pitches 1 out into the 2nd. Here's Nuno into the 6th inning. Sweeps the breaking ball away. Shortstop is Nick Ahmed, who they say can really pick it. And then Chris Owings moves over to second base. Mr. Harper doesn't swing. It's not a strike. 3-1. Tyler Moore on deck to give Ryan Zimmerman the rest of the night off and give Tyler some time at first base. Another great night for Ryan. And Bryce Harper will take his 28th walk of the year. Second walk issued by Vidal Nuno. Paul Goldschmidt 2 weeks ago, actually last week, the player of the week, and then Bryce Harper just this past week. Guys doing tons of damage to National League pitching. So here's Tyler Moore. You know, at FP, the first game of a series like this gives you a chance to do something else. Wednesday day game after a night game. Get a couple of guys off their feet tonight. Maybe they can go Tuesday and Wednesday when normally you'd be giving them a blow on Wednesday.
Good call. Did you mention the Mets lost?
Well, I saw it was in the 9th inning, and now the Cubs have beaten them 4-3.
I mean, I know it's made.
I was going to say, it's not the 15th of September, and you're watching the scoreboard?
I just look at.
Well, you're always giving me a hard time. I'm just giving you a little back.
I really looked at the standings unless it's like on a show I'm watching. And like, oh, the Nats are 3.5. I mean, because as a player, I don't know, that's irrelevant.
The Nats are, if they win tonight, 2.5 back. Look at the box score. In some of those lines, barely room to type all of the production.
I mean, irrelevant in the sense that you just want to be playing good baseball.
Absolutely. It'll take care of itself.
Right. You better look. That almost got us.
I think we're vulnerable when left-handed batters are up. We're just a little bit offset toward the third base side.
Good call.
2-1 to Moore. 80 downstairs. Counts even. Mercedes-Benz will track it. Yeah, this is a pinch hitting appearance for Tyler. He's 3 for 12, but it's also a night when he's going to get more than one at bat. 5 for 25 on the season with a homer, 2 RBIs. Hit a big homer in this ballpark last year, but the breaking ball coming up and in gets him for the first out. 6th inning. Next up, Wilson Ramos.
So 1 for 2 with the home run. Nice night for Ryan Zimmerman.
Dan Uggla alongside. Wilson hit the ball really hard last time, right at Aaron Hill, then playing second base. And a chance for another multi-hit game tonight. Trying to make it 11 in his last 19 starts. Bases clearing double, 2nd inning.
I want to say big blow in this game after the 4-run first. 3 more score. I think Ryan Zimmer got drilled in the back of the head with that throw. Horns to the dugout, horns up. I love it. You are the fan of the game. I'm digging that beard.
Self-proclaimed, and we couldn't agree more.
Go Nats.
Almost goes down to foul it.
I see a lot of red in this ballpark just looking around. I think that's the biggest difference I've seen in my 5 years here is, you know, we've watched the fans evolve at Nats Park and that place fill up on a regular basis, but how they travel on the road now. It seems like wherever we go, there's Nats fans everywhere, and that wasn't the case maybe in 2011, but they're everywhere. Sure there'll be some in San Diego.
And I bet you Bryce Harper got us a couple hundred more this past week,
right,
on a national basis. You know, not that they're following one guy, but You get a player who captures the imagination of fans all over the country, and then they tend to start following that entire ball club. And that's what's happening for our Nationals. We like it. One and two to Ramos. Breaking ball in the dirt. They finally got him for the second out.
The New York Yankees going to visit Nats Park for a 2-game series May 19th and 20th. The first 25,000 fans will receive a Nationals 10th anniversary tote bag. That's presented by the MLB Network on Tuesday, May 19th. Tickets are still available. Go to nationals.com. All right, Wilson.
Ian Desmond, 0 for 3. A little bit away from the left-hander Nuno. As I mentioned earlier, he started 14 games for the Diamondbacks last year, and he's giving their bullpen some relief to try to get this game for their pitching staff at least into the 7th inning. Game 1 of a series like this, when your starter gets 4 outs, can be an utter disaster for the next several days. And finally, Ian Desmond gets one through. Lined out to short last time. He's 1 for 4. And that'll get it down to 2 for 3, Danny Espinosa.
Ian Desmond joining the hit parade. That's hit number 14 for the Nats. It's an off-speed pitch, pulls it through the hole. So where I'm looking, I think Jason Worth is the only one not in the parade, but he's got a sac fly and a walk.
Up and down the lineup contributions. Espinosa goes up swinging at the curveball. Base hit to left last time. Couple of weeks does not a season make, but over the last 13 games for Danny, some of the most consistent production of his career.
Is that the mascot? No.
He tends to run really hot and cold, but Danny's been consistent. That's what I like about this stretch for him. He got jammed, and it's back below us. You can sit down now. Espinosa 16 for his last 45. Nuno keeping the ball down. Was it a tip or no? No. Danny Espinosa asking Joe West to ask for help, and Joe doesn't seem very interested. Now he calls it a foul tip. Evidently, the last resort was asking to see if there was a nick on the ball. Now the home fans don't like it.
Interesting right there. I was just thinking to myself, do you review something like that or challenge something like that up by 11 runs? And I saw Matt Williams kind of motion. And I don't know if he was going to or not, if he's saying come off the field, we're not going to challenge this.
That will not be challenged. That was a clean miss. So striking out the side, Vidal Nuno in the 6th. Nats still lead by 11. Bottom of the 6th coming up here. Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. Tyler Moore stays in to play first base. Ryan Zimmerman gets the rest of the night off after going 1 for 2 with a walk and a 3-run homer. Clint Robinson gets Jason Worth off his feet and takes over in left. Max Scherzer just can't find the plate. He's thrown 15 balls in 5 innings. Unbelievable. 58 pitches, 43 strikes.
But they're quality strikes, and they're with whatever pitch he's throwing. I think that's the thing that you have to talk about when you're talking about Max Scherzer. Every start, he fills up the strike zone with all of his pitches, not just the fastball or not just a slider on a given day or maybe a curveball or change. In every single start he's had as a national, he's attacking with his whole arsenal.
Love watching this guy work. And the 0-2. A.J. Pollock takes one inside. Pollock is 0 for 2. That hot shot back to Max, which he took a shot to the back of the leg and then threw him out. Then Scherzer struck A.J. out for the final out 3rd inning with those 2 men on. He bolts the fastball. And he was walking off the mound way before Joe West called it strike 3. Nissan will track it.
You're up 11-0, still pitching with a purpose.
Next up, Jordan Pacheco, who took over at first base for Paul Goldschmidt back in the 4th inning. Front door slider stays inside. 2 hits in the 3rd, 2 hits in the 5th. That's been it for the Diamondbacks. That slider's in there. So here's the extent of their offense. Chris Owings leadoff infield hit 3rd inning. 2-out double Inciarte, both stranded. Back-to-back singles, Owings and Tuffy Gozwich in the 5th, both stranded. Fastball, a beauty at the knees. By the way, the Dodgers have a run. They lead the Marlins 1-0, bottom of the 5th at Dodger Stadium. Phillies have lost. Braves are tied at Cincinnati. Mets have lost. The Atlanta-Cincinnati game's in the top of the 9th. And the Braves just scored on a wild pitch by Aroldis Chapman. 2-2 pitch. Fastball low. So right now the Nats 3 back. They can knock another half game off that by claiming the victory tonight. And the 3-2. That baby is long gone if it's fair. It's into the bullpen. And Jordan Pacheco, on a ball hanging up and in, hits his 2nd home run of the year.
It's a nice night off the bench for Paul Goldschmidt. Hit the ball deep to center field last time up and gets the Diamondbacks on the board. And I know Max Scherzer was thinking about a shutout, but that might not be the worst thing in the world. Now it gives Matt Williams a little leeway to maybe go to his bullpen here and not really push Scherzer any farther than he needs to go. And I know I was thinking it. I thought he had the stuff to do it tonight, but on a 3-2 slider, Jordan Pacheco puts him on the board.
Fastball in there to David Peralta. And remember how hard he had to work the last time out against the Braves. Or not the Braves, the Marlins, capped off by the 3-run Stanton home run. Ian Desmond will take care of that for the 2nd out here in the 6th. Yasmani Tomas will be next. With more on Max, here's Dan.
Bob, get this. Over Scherzer's last 35-plus innings, he struck out 38 and walked just 1. Now, the strikeouts are impressive, obviously, but Scherzer is probably more happy about the lack of walks. FP, I don't know if you remember in Philly earlier this year, you mentioned to Scherzer that Doug Fister had more starts last year than walks, and Scherzer loved that note, and he said recently how proud he is that he's been able to keep his walks so low.
Yeah, he was shocked when we told him that. He said, that is so cool. I don't know if he wants to do that, but we'll see. That's not easy to do. Only 5 people in baseball did it last year. Jordan Zimmerman and Doug Fister were 2 of the 5. More starts than walks.
On the attack with the slider, Tomas down on strikes. That's 5 for Max tonight. He's only given up 3 home runs all year. One of them to Jordan Pacheco right there. He'll lead off 7th inning, 11-1.
Off the bus tonight, basically. Watch all the hits, folks. Those are all pretty sounds, aren't they? And Max Scherzer getting in the act, too, with a couple himself. And he'll lead this thing off.
Another inning for Vidal Nuno, who is single-handedly saving the Arizona bullpen right now. He's pitched 4 2/3 so far. 7 strikeouts. Given up 2 runs.
Vidal has looked good.
Keeping that breaking ball down even to right-handed hitters. By the way, I got your little nuance there.
Vidal Sassoon?
So Scherzer 3 for 16 this year. Staff lead shared on hits with Doug Fister. How funny is that? A couple of guys who were in the American League for a long time are the pitchers getting the base hits.
A couple of guys that are ultimate competitors. Doesn't shock me.
And that 1-2 hopper out to Chris Owings. First out, top of the 7th.
Well, if you haven't voted, you can't sleep. Get on the internet right now and start. And for the first time, you'll be voting online only. Yeah, vote for that guy right there at the bottom of the screen. Help get your Nats to Cincinnati in July. Go to nationals.com/vote to place your votes right now.
And Denard, a chat and an amused look from Joe West. Probably talking about country music. Denard 2 for 4, homer single, couple of RBIs. Came in hitting .284. It spans at .296. Good curveball in there from Nuno, who's due to bat 4th if it gets that far in the bottom of the 7th. Going the other way in a pop-up. Shortstop Ahmed has the angle, and he catches the foul ball for the second out.
May 4th, number 5 had 5 hits. So he's 4 for 4 tonight, but we're going to flash back to this day when Yunel Escobar dropped the 5 spot. And right now he's going for the same thing. 4 for 4 tonight.
Started the night hitting .271 last Monday. When he took the field the next night, he was hitting .311, and here he goes again. If it wasn't for Bryce Harper, Escobar might have been the player of the week. He's making an early bid for this week's honor. 5 base hits for Escobar tonight.
It's not that easy. He's making it look easy. It's not this easy. Average up to .342 now for Yunel Escobar on the 5 for 5. So May 4th, May 11th, and then maybe May 18th he does it again. Every 7 days, 5 hits.
Some kind of hit. First at bat tonight for Clint Robinson. Took over last inning for Jason Worth in left.
.342.
Robinson, 8 hits, 37 at bats, couple of RBIs. Only a matter of time before this big man hits his first big league home run. Hits it pretty hard, but slicing the other way.
So depending on what happens tonight or happens tonight, D. Gordon started out at .439, Adrian Gonzalez .377, DJ LeMahieu .348, Paul Goldschmidt .345, Matt Holliday .343. That would put him right behind Holliday at .342.
Yeah, and Escobar hasn't played every day. But he sure has taken care of a potential problem for this ball club. FP called third base.
Yeah.
With Anthony Rendon hurt. Curveball in the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, he was going to play either way. I think the key in that whole recipe is Danny Espinosa and how well he's been doing. He's the wild card in all this. You know, Escobar was going to be an everyday guy. It was just a matter if he's going to play third or Rendon was going to play third. But the one that's really been the key piece in this puzzle has been Espinosa's emergence, him putting the ball in play, even switch hitting and being so effective left-handed. Is that the mascot? No, that's Skipper. And him being so effective from both sides of the plate.
2-2 to Robinson. Fastball is going to get it on the outside edge. So Escobar gets another hit. The Nats have stranded 7 tonight. We arrive at the Hyundai 7th inning stretch. Waffles and chicken. It's a sensation in the Southwest these days. Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Washington Nationals. The green grass of Chase Field. And the 7th inning of work for Max Scherzer. Nick Ahmed, 25-year-old shortstop out of Yukon, former All Big East guy, didn't start tonight, and he'll lead off here. Hitting just a .133, 10 hits and 75 at bats. And a check swing on a 93, boring down and in on it. Ahmed came over here in a trade with Atlanta that involved Martin Prado, Justin Upton, and Chris Johnson back in January of 13.
I don't think the Braves are going to need a shortstop for a while.
Nope. One and two from Scherzer. And a bouncer left side. Nice big hop for Escobar. Stylish little basket catch on the one hopper. And by the way, there have been 4 5-hit games in baseball this year. Escobar has 2. Denard Span has 1. D. Gordon has the other.
Wow.
Next up, Chris Owings, and he's the lone bright spot along with Pacheco with the homer for the D-backs tonight, 2 for 2. Scherzer on the attack with the fastball. Another one for a strike and fouled off. Then he goes change up on 0-2. ERA jumped up a little bit because of that Stanton homer last time up, giving up 5 runs. But it's on its way back down. Started the night at 2.11 and 132 on the road. Look out. That was Andy Green, the third base coach, doing a little ducking on that line drive.
Don't we have to get Mass and Dan out in the pool before this thing's over? We're not actually in it. We're just out there.
So there's like one person in the pool right now?
I feel like that place was made for him. He needs to get out there.
Well, that's overmatching a hitter right there. Max Scherzer, strikeout number 6. Mercedes-Benz will show the way.
Nasty slider right here for Max. And the thing is, when you have a guy that throws mid-upper 90s, you have to start your swing early to commit to the fastball. And you know, it looks to me like it's hard to pick up the slider. We've seen a lot of funky swings on that pitch.
Here's Tuffy Gozowicz. Fouled out first time, base hit up the middle, second time up. Fastball 93, misses away.
It's a nickname that his dad gave him when he was about 2 weeks old. It's just stuck.
Tuffy?
Yep.
Or Gosowicz?
I think that came with the whole thing.
Yeah, I think you got that one right away.
Yeah, that came first.
2-0. From Freeport, Illinois. Went to high school here in Phoenix at Horizon High and played at Arizona State. Had a brother Chip who played for the Sun Devils as well. Went on to the minor leagues with the Angels. 2 balls, 1 strike. Scherzer's fastball looking quicker than 92 here in the 7th inning.
James Benjamin Gozowicz, nicknamed Tuffy.
First big leaguer named Tuffy since Tuffy Rhodes.
He plays hard, I know that. So the nickname kind of fits. The Diamondbacks signed Jared Saltalamacchia to a minor league deal recently. He's in Reno AAA.
Tuffy, by the way, 9 years in the minor leagues. Breaking ball out ahead of it. The count 2-2 here with 2 outs, bases empty. Bottom of the 7th in a game dominated by the Nats from the very first swing of the night. When Denard Span hit the Nats' 3rd leadoff homer of the year. Escobar has one. Michael Taylor had one. And Span joins that party. 2-2 pitch.
Pitch number 90 coming from Max Scherzer. And I'm thinking this might be it for him, he's saying. We'll see. I don't think he had a lot of high-stress pitches in the last game until he got into the 8th. He gave up a couple of base hits, then he had that battle with Giancarlo Stanton that didn't go his way. But he was on cruise control pretty much that whole game. Gave up 2 runs early. But still, you know, he looked like he might have been gassed that last inning. And he's letting it all out right here. 96 on that fastball.
Yeah, got the reach back stuff going right now. And if this is it for him, good luck San Diego Padres trying to hit this guy at 5:40 local time on Saturday.
Oh my. Good luck hitting him at any 40.
Walked in, he went with a 3-2 changeup there. And Vidal Nuno will get his 3rd at bat of the night.
I think I see Blake trying to warm up down there.
Pitcher, Vidal Nuno.
There he is. Phone's ringing.
Maybe to ask, is he ready?
I can hear it. Hello?
Nuno goes up hacking and slams it into the mask of Wilson Ramos. So he came into the game in the 2nd inning. He's now batting for the 3rd time. He's fouled out on a bunt and hit a fly ball to left field. He was 3-2 with a 3.23 ERA for the Aces at AAA Reno.
That's where Kevin Franzen is. He signed with the Diamondbacks. He's in AAA Reno. I was talking to him today. He was wishing he was up for the series.
1-1 pitch. Bouncing ball, Espinosa. Plenty of time to get to his left. And if that's it for Max Scherzer, working beautifully with a big lead presented to him early. Bryce Harper leads off, top of the 8th. Tyler Moore and Wilson Ramos to follow. 2-3, and he's won 3 out of 4 career decisions against the D-backs, who will throw Rubby De La Rosa. He's 3-2, and he went 7 innings of shutout ball his last time out against that good San Diego lineup. 9 p.m. Nats Extra on Masson 2 before we join you from the big plane hangar in Phoenix.
So their battery tomorrow night's going to be Rubby and Tuffy?
Could be.
Are you serious?
I don't know. Jordan Pacheco hit a home run tonight. Maybe he's in there.
You sure it's not Ruby? Because if it's Rubby and Tuffy, I cannot do the game. I can't handle it.
Well,
I just can't. I'm not mature enough.
And it's real. It would be real close to being Ruby Tuesday. Oh boy, boy! When you're up 11-1, everything's funny.
When it's midnight, your time, you get a little giddy. You have to do the play-by-play. So good luck.
Bryce Harper to deep center. A.J. Pollock cruising to it, and he'll catch it short of the track. So Bryce tonight 1 for 4 with a walk and an RBI single. Tyler Moore getting some playing time. Dan has more.
Bob, I was talking to Tyler recently just about his comfort level pinch hitting this season. He admitted that he was miserable the last couple years, struggling in that role. He said that in the past he would go up with a plan and he'd let the game speed up on him, but now he said the game's slowing down. The key for him when he does get a pinch hitting opportunity is to not strike out, to put the ball in play. He's just focusing on hitting it hard somewhere, and he says it's been a lot more satisfying this year to be able to contribute in a pinch hitting role.
Curveball in there. Tyler's first at bat, a strikeout. Worked the count long and then fanned on a ball in the dirt. Actually, he got strike 2 and a ball in the dirt, and then Nuno threw him a breaking ball up and in that he couldn't get to. And that off-speed pitch low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here in the 8th with 1 out. Nats trying to win their 5th in a row, trying to make it 11 of 13 and be just 2.5 behind New York. Not often you see a relief pitcher throw 100 pitches, but he really is a starter up from the minor leagues, and they have a shift on Tyler Moore here. Not seen that often against a right-handed batter. Jordan Pacheco will have a long way to go to receive a throw at first base.
You see that when they play the Yankees.
2 Hopper, Yasmani Tomas, 2 down.
The Peanuts return to the Fitz May 19th through the 21st. They take on the Carolina Mudcats. You don't want to miss $2 tacos and tall boys. The all-you-can-eat buffet at Belly Buster night and discounted drinks during Thursday cheers. Go to the website or number on your screen for more information. I'm being told it's Ruby, Bob.
Ruby De La Rosa?
Yes.
Sorry.
That's okay. There's Baxter. And that's a nightmare waiting to happen. Yeah, that's scary too. That might be scarier than Mr. Met.
Regaling the crowd of 16,406.
A human man cat.
Oh, look out. That bat's going to hit the top of the dugout and then go slamming into the seats. Wow, that thing really skipped off the top.
Looks like everybody's okay. That's all that matters. The water bottle or the cup not okay. Everybody else good. Yep.
Wilson Ramos has a new bat. I don't think Wilson wants the bat back. Seems like the stadium employee will let that gentleman keep it, and I think he should. Maybe there's another couple of, well, he breaks that bat on the next swing. How about that? That ball caught by David Peralta. So the Nats go in order for only the second time tonight. On Masson, brought to you by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. Enter promo code DUGOUT for free entry. Roof open. Looking to the south toward home plate here at Chase Field in beautiful downtown Phoenix. And a call to the bullpen for Blake Trinan. Brought to you by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable 4G LTE network. Nobody from the D-backs on their current roster have ever faced Blake Trinan.
Yeah, 14th appearance for Blake. ERA 5.14. Opponents hitting 255. Right-handers 172 against the high 90s two-seam fastball, the sinker from Blake Trinan.
Inciarte, Pollock, and Goldschmidt. Inciarte against Max Scherzer, 1 for 3 with a double. Goes the other way, beyond the reach of Escobar. And a 2-hit night for Ender Inciarte. Hey, even 22-year-olds need a couple of innings off here and there. So Michael Taylor takes over for Bryce Harper. He'll be batting 9th. And on the double switch, Trinan is in the number 4 spot. The line on Max Scherzer, 7 innings, a run on 5 hits, a walk, 6 strikeouts, 94 pitches, 68 strikes.
Not easy to pitch with that big a lead, and he was nice all night. It really isn't.
I'll just ask Julio Teheran.
Ask anybody. Pitchers will tell you, man. It's not, I mean, they want the run support. They love the run support. They're not going to throw it back. It's tough to stay that focused.
Trinan with a good-looking breaking ball going straight down. A.J. Pollock fouls it. 0-2. We'll see if he can put that sinker to work now and get a ground ball. Pollock can run. 6 stolen bases this year. D-backs are a good running ball club, but a game like tonight takes you right out of that. Only the Reds and the Cubs have more steals than Arizona's 27. Wilson Ramos took a moment to find it. Target in. That means sinker, right? Broken bat. Espinosa over to grab it. This guy will break some serious bats in his big league career. Blake Trinan.
Well, he's still figuring out the whole reliever thing. Right? You know, Dan just talking about how Tyler Moore's getting more comfortable with the pinch hit thing. He's been a starter his whole career, coming in with bases loaded, 1 out, trying to get a ground ball. You know, the whole wrapping your head around and getting a routine and getting comfortable with being a reliever. I think the one thing he's really learning on the fly is that you have to pound the strike zone. Whatever happens in your outing as a reliever, you have to attack. You have to be on the attack with all of your pitches right out of bed. You can't mess around with corners. And in his defense, that sinker moves so much, sometimes it's hard to keep in the strike zone. You see right there, Wilson Ramos kind of wrestling it at 96 miles an hour. So once he gets all those things and maybe a little more confidence and experience, he's going to be a very effective reliever.
Enrique Burgos for the D-backs, apparently for the 9th. I mean, they got 6 2/3 out of Vidal Nuno tonight. Not often a reliever comes into the ballgame and strikes out 8 men, throwing over 100 pitches. 1-1, and Trinan misses low and away, ball 2. Tyler Moore playing behind the runner. 2-1 pitch, and there's the bouncer. Escobar to Espinosa, and Danny turns it. Around the horn go the Nats on the Trinan sinker with a 5-4-3 double play. And this 11-1 game into the ninth.
Or you just like watching a bunch of base hits in a row? We're going to show you the night Yunel Escobar's had. First time up, base hit. Second time up, nice little inside-out swing. Pull mode. There's a 4 for 4 up the middle. And how about 5? So he's up 5th this inning. My old roommate, Rondell White, is the only one in franchise history that has had 6 hits in 1995 with the Montreal Expos. So I am rooting for Yunel Escobar to have one more at-bat here tonight.
Yeah, could be hitting 350 by the end of the night. Crazy. Ian Desmond and the right-hander Enrique Burgos, who the Nats have never faced. 24-year-old rookie, Panama City. And the D-backs signed him back in 07 at the age of 16. Vidal Nuno threw 105 pitches, 70 strikes.
Well, I know that's what their broadcast is talking about right now, how
saving their bullpen.
Yeah,
right?
He did a nice job.
I just recalled today. Desmond 1 for 4, base hit to left last time. Hard breaking ball, drops in around the knees, 84.
Yeah, hard slider that's average at 87. The fastball is averaging 96.5 miles an hour.
Breaks his hands, brings that ball out of the glove early in his delivery.
So a 1 for 4 into a 2 for 5 is what we used to call a super salvage. So Ian Desmond already salvages tonight, going 0 for 3 into 1 for 4. Something to show. This will turn a good night into a 2-hit night, into a great night.
Desmond got a fastball, rams it off the facing of the press box just to the right of us. Steven Strasburg, Ruby De La Rosa tomorrow night. Somebody hits a home run, it'll be goodbye Ruby Tuesday.
See the back of Jose Lobaton's head right there? It's got some lines shaved into the backside. I like it. Right there, see that?
Oh, yeah. So that must be one for each of his homers, and the next one he's going to hit. Up and in. Good at bat by, oh, no, it's not. That's called a strike. That ball looked like it was up off the plate, pardon me. And a strikeout. Nissan will track it.
Joe West looking for strikes right now. 11-1 game. He'll even tell you when you get in there, swing the bat. I've had umpires say that. Hey, just so you know, swing it. Meaning, I'm looking for strikes. They usually give you a heads up.
Espinosa 2 for 4 so far. So he starts the night left-handed, goes to the right side and back to the lefty. And the 0-1. Danny takes it outside. Michael Taylor on the double switch, now the right fielder. On deck. High slider, strike 2. Marlins have picked up a run, bottom of the 7th at Dodger Stadium. 1-1 the score there. Nats started the night 2 games ahead of them and are now breathing down the necks of the Mets, just 2.5 back. Got him on a slider outside edge. 2 Ks, 2 down. Never miss a game. Update, behind the scenes moment, or exclusive contest. Follow at Massa Nationals on Twitter for all the latest Nats buzz. At Massa Nationals on Twitter.
He's on Twitter. Got the bright sleeve working. It's a little sleepy.
Yeah, it looks like he's on Eastern time.
At the ballpark, he never tired at the yard.
Michael A. Taylor, nasty breaking ball, hitting .265. At bats, few and far between lately with Denard Span playing so well in center. Did get a day off over the weekend. And Burgos just throwing breaking ball after breaking ball here. They'll have 4, 5, and 6 due up in the 9th. Peralta, Tomas, and Ahmed. On a pitch away, tapped out to short. Ahmed has to hurry, and he gets the speedy Michael Taylor. So the Nats doing all their damage early. 10 of their 11 runs in the first 2 innings. We're on our bus a little later, so they couldn't wait to get to Chase Field today, and this one's going to the bottom of the 9th inning. Let's update some numbers from our opening. Since April 28th, the Nats had won 10 of their last 12. That average runs is going to go up. So's the batting average, the on-base percentage, and the extra base hits. A litany of offensive success for Matt Williams Ball Club right now.
Is that the mascot? Nope. I mean, that mascot was so real. I'm really having trouble bearing down between the skipper and the race tonight.
David Peralta 0 for 3. 10 pitches, 7 strikes in the 8th by Blake Trinan, who got that double play ball to end the proceedings. Even when Blake Trinan takes a little bit off and that thing's 95, it has enough late life. And he goes with the slider in the dirt. And the count 2-2. Steve McCatty, he did watch batting practice earlier tonight. And his pitchers, Scherzer and now Trinan, have been really good. Guys think they're on that fastball, and all of a sudden they hit it and it goes straight down.
I think as Blake develops, maybe another pitch for lefties. He's had good success against righties, so maybe a toy with a cut fastball or a split, even a changeup, something that can neutralize a left-hander, especially if you're going to be an 8th inning guy. And you have to definitely be able to attack the strike zone just on a little more consistent basis and not try to be so fine. When you throw 98, 99, just go right after guys. Easy to say. It's something that you have to do if you're going to pitch in late inning close ball game.
Here's Yasmani Tomas. Came in hitting .296 in his first 19 big league games. He's 0 for 3 with a pair of punch-outs tonight, courtesy of Max Scherzer. There's the chopper to third. Escobar has to lay back, so that makes the play at second impossible. Just take a sure out here in the 9th inning, and down to second went Peralta. For those of you where it's now morning, later today, Steven Strasburg takes the mound for the Nats tomorrow night, and he is 3-1 career with a .225 ERA in 6 starts against the Arizona Diamondbacks. He'll be looking to even his record at 3-3, like Max Scherzer is about to do tonight. Here's the shortstop, Nick Ahmed, who bounced out to Escobar first time up. That is nasty. Unbelievable action on that 95 sinker. Dodgers have scored in the 7th. They lead Miami 2-1. That's a front door slider that got enough of the zone. 10-mile differential between the fastball and the slide piece.
Joe West is looking for strikes.
And because of the previous call, Ahmed feels he has to swing at that. 2 down.
Second baseman, Chris Owings.
Lots of highlights coming up with Johnny and Phil on Nats Extra. Chris Owings 2 for 3.
We talked to coming out west. The first night is always the easiest night. Second night is where you really have to regroup. You're starting a game at 9:30, 10 o'clock. You really don't feel the trip, the time change until the second day. So Matt Williams' club came out on fire tonight. I think it's being really something interesting to watch tomorrow night when the time change really hits you. You start standing out in the outfield, staring around. You remember that game at Dodger Stadium a few years back when Bryce ran into the wall? You kind of zone out because you're not used to playing baseball at midnight, 1 in the morning. It always takes, I think it's a day for every time zone we travel, so it takes 2 or 3 days to get used to being on the West Coast. And then right when you get used to it, you got to go back east. So I'll be interested to see how the boys react tomorrow night more than any night on this trip.
2-1. Yeah, so it makes it very important to win that first game.
Right,
huh?
right.
Take your chances in game 2. Nats with Span leading the way up at the top of that lineup and everything else happening behind him. Starting to win series. 4 in a row. Off to a good start here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That ball hit the batter while he was still in the batter's box. No, he's out. Game over. Joe West was pointing to the ground, and that was it.
Just said, I'm putting this game out of its misery. Time to go home. And that's probably the weirdest inning I've seen in a long time.
2 unassisted. You give the put out to the nearest defender, and the Diamondbacks are not ready to leave the field. And the Nationals, is he going to appeal this? Joe West is walking off the field, and Chip Hale is still talking to him, and now he's walking back to the third base dugout. Would you challenge that in the closing moments of an 11-1 game? And now Joe West and Chip Hale are going to talk about it.
Chip Hale fight for one of his players to have an at-bat that maybe has a better outcome, and I think you have to like that if you play for the Diamondbacks. Not that he's thinking he's still got a chance in this game, but he's fighting for one of his players, and sometimes that goes a long way in the clubhouse.
Well, all 4 umpires are there. The Nats have already done high fives on the infield.
This is bizarre.
And as a team, they're walking into the dugout. The bullpen's coming in.
This is so bizarre.
Yeah.
Shutter. That's it.
Okay. Game, set, match. Nationals win it 11-1. Boys, you can roll the music. For FP and Dan, I'm Bob. The Nats road trip is off to a great start, and they continue to dominate offensively. Join us tomorrow night when Steven Strasburg pitches Game 2 here in Arizona. This has been a presentation of Masson. Stay tuned. The game is over. See you later.